Alright guys, so I'm going to do a green fig pie demo for you all. Right? This is always how I do my green fig pie. I do not absolutely nothing different, right? And I am going to execute it just the way I will usually do it, right? So for that, depends on the size you are making. I'm making somewhat of a small pie. You will need some evaporated milk of your choice, some freshly done seasonings. This is onion, pimento, and one garlic in here, some freshly chopped parsley, right? Some butter, of course. I'm just going to be direct. I'm going to use one Maggi all purpose, and I'm going to use freshly grated nutmeg, right? Of course, salt and pepper, my Stonewall kitchen brand. I did a blog on the Place Book Foods in West Trinidad where I got that salt and pepper grinder, right? Also, you'll need some Italian breadcrumbs to top it with once you are finished. I'm going to show you all the steps, and some cheddar, right? So we're about to start now. You want to start, let me say, in the international world, they get something, other nations, they get something called figs, right? What I'm using is green bananas. I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like. I didn't want to go live prior to now with it because you all would not have, I will have had to shut down and come back, right? So this is what green banana looks like. You want to boil it with the skin and everything on it, and put some salt and a bit of oil in there because the water is somewhat very discolored. The water is very dark, right? And you will know when it's cooked, when it's tender, right? So I have some already peeled for the sake of time, and I'm just going to do the other two this moment to go along, right? So let me just peel the others. It's very simple to peel. There's a lot of strings on it, so you just want to remove it gently, right? The size of it doesn't matter, right? Some persons love the green bananas, others don't, but however you want your green bananas, feel free to do just that. You see how I have to get off the stringy things on there, right? You have to do this with the back of a knife or so, or even the front side of a knife once you are going to use green fig. Same goes for plantains when you cook it, right? So this is this one. I'm just going to do one more, peel the next one, of course. You want to strain it, put it in a colander. I'm going to just I'm just going to peel the last one, and we're going to get straight on with the demo, right? It's very easy. You see how soft it is, so you know when it's cooked like that, right? You don't want to peel it before you boil it. And I'm just going to start. I already have my pot on the fire to start. It's not going to take us very long at all. It's going to be very, very rapid, right? So there's my plate. Let me just move this out of the way, wipe that mess up. And we're about to start this minute, right? Use butter of your choice or margarine. You can't get away with using margarine because you are not baking. When I say you are not baking pastries and so forth, right? So you can't get away with that. In the month of coming away from this demo a bit, I'm going to use just 2 tablespoons of butter, okay? Coming away from this demo a little bit, for the entire month of June 2017, when you shop at Brook Foods in West Trinidad, they go Martin, and you call my name or the business name, you will get a discount. Okay, so that's running even as we speak. Yes, so that's running even as we speak, right? Let me just take you all over to the pot. Right, so let's do this. So you want to start by, of course, like I said, getting your butter in your pot. Soaking like a lot of butter, but remember, you want it moist. You don't want some kind of cracker style banana pie or green fig pie. You want it moist, right? So in goes the seasoning. You all see me do this method all the time. It's not something that's strange, right? Just let it go for a bit in the seasonings, in the butter, sorry. Just let it go a bit, nothing much, not even to get color really. You just want it releasing all the flavors in there. I'm going to make a cheese sauce. That's what I'm doing really, right? Those of you that are here, even though it's just 2 of you, I thank you all for joining. I know the others, they are going to watch it after, you know. So I thank you all for watching. The comments is disabled. It's not active. So that's why if you are trying to comment, you are not getting to comment, okay? I'm doing just a cheese sauce to start with, like you will always see me do. Remember, I said to use evaporated milk, or if you live in the United States or other nation, use whatever milk you prefer, right? So about that is what we want to use. I'm going to add the cheddar at this stage. I'm going to take you back to the processor. You all know I prep ahead a time, like a great deal of prepping before I come on for the sake of time, right? You want to use about, for your sauce, you want to use that much cheese, which is probably about 3/4 of a cup. I'm speaking about the measuring cups. I spoke on that time and time again. So 3/4 of a cup of a measuring cup you want to go with. I'm going to start to add my my black pepper and my salt from Stonewalls that I purchased at Brook Foods in Lego Martin. Let me add the salt and then I'll go with the pepper. They are grinders, both grinders. Right, so I'm just going to put a bit of the salt, not too much. Cheddar is salty. It's sea salt from Maine. Maine, if you don't know, it's an American state. Right? It's a medley of fresh pepper corns that I have. It's not straight up black pepper corns. It's a mixture. So we have some beautiful colors in there. About that is enough. This is what it looks like, mixed peppercorn. Right, so I'm just going to at this stage I'm going to put a bit of nutmeg in there. I'm using fresh nutmeg, so I'm going to take you back to the counter because I have to crack the shell with my mallet and just use my Mario Batali zester. It's in a little spice container that I have. I showed some time ago on Facebook. It's actually on the YouTube channel also, how I store the spices. It's on Preserving Jars demo or video. Right, so our nutmeg is already cracked right there. The mallet is a tool that you use in the culinary world and so forth to tenderize meats, among other stuff. It's two-sided, so it's rough and smooth, so you can use it for your meats. I'm just going to put the nutmeg in the pot directly into my cheese sauce. This sauce is so good on a lot of things you would not believe. So I'm just using my Mario Batali zester to get some of my nutmeg freshly grated down in there. Right? That's all I'm doing at this point. Nothing much. It gives some more intense flavor in the pie, right? So about there is where I'm going to stop. Excuse the knocking and all of that. And I'm going to put in the green bananas at this stage. All of it. Right? I'm going to mash it in there or smash it in there. Directly in there. So I'm going to use my potato masher at this stage. You want to be careful when you have stainless steel cookware and you are using metal, okay? You don't want to damage your wares and your pots and so forth. Right? So at this stage it's safe to turn the fire off because your cheese sauce, it's already complete. I don't do it too smooth, by the way. I don't mash it too smooth. I like a bit of texture coming through. I don't want it tasting like packaged stuff or baby food, so I keep a bit of my banana texture, my potato. If I'm doing that, I keep a bit of the texture in there, okay? So you will notice that you will see some bits and pieces that are larger, but if you want it smooth, by all means you go ahead if you want your own like that. So right here is where I am going to leave it. And that's simple. We are more or less done, but I have to top it and all of that, right, in my baking dish. I'm just going to stir to incorporate everything. The scent of the kitchen, in the kitchen, is just amazing because of this pie right here. Right? If you want to get really creative, you can also use green plantains too with it. I'm going to put some freshly chopped parsley in there. You see how I reserve it for this moment because I don't want it to wilt too much. And don't add too much either. Right? You all know how I feel about parsley. It's one of my beloved herbs. Right? So right there is where we want to put that. That gives it brilliant color and look. So we are going to put it into the baking dish at this point. I'm just going to use a bit of organic. I'm going to take you all back to the counter. A bit of organic, extra virgin olive oil, imported non-stick cooking spray, okay? You want to spray properly because you don't want your pie giving you any issues to release. Such a gorgeous pie, you don't want it sticking up into your baking dish. Right, and easy like that we are done. I'm going to just top it with some cheese and so forth. I'm just going to top it with some cheese at this point. You can do 2 cheese if you like, but just make sure it's cheese that's well behaved and that, you know, it can take the heat and so forth, because sometimes even here in Trinidad, we get some cheddar that don't, if you're vegetarian, look for rennet free or vegetarian cheddar, okay? So I'm just going to top it now, like I said before, with my cheese. This is not a brand of breadcrumbs in that can. It's just a vintage pepper shaker that I have. Salt and pepper shaker. It's a set. It's not a brand. Use Italian breadcrumbs. I don't like panko for topping pies. Honestly, I don't like panko to top pies with. Stay with Italian breadcrumbs, or just, if you are somewhat hypertensive, use the regular breadcrumb that have no seasonings in it, because what happens is Italian breadcrumbs, it contains seasoning, it's completed. So even want to be careful using salt when you're using Italian breadcrumbs, okay? You want to have a nice crust, so you want to put enough cheddar on the top or whatever cheese you are going to use, okay? I'm just going to top it now with some of the breadcrumbs. It does double duty, the breadcrumbs. It takes away the excess amount of oils, and it also it gives a nice crust, so it does double duty. You know, cheddar is a very oily cheese, right? But it's not going to work if you are doing pizza. I'm just sharing a bit of tip as I go along quickly. Right, so easy like that. We are complete. Until it's finished baking. I'll have to go back live when it's finished baking. So this is where we are getting ready to put it into an oven that's already warm or heating, right? The thing with the breadcrumb, it goes all over. I said previously on demos, if you have breadcrumbs and you buy it in huge amounts like I do, you want to store it in your refrigerator. Keep in mind it's bread, you want to treat it as you will bread. And a lot of times you don't use a lot of this, so you want to keep it there so that it could stay in good condition for you. Just want to check for expiration dates, okay? Let's get a bit of your freshly chopped parsley on there also. It's going to be pretty nice. Right, so I'm going to put it down into the oven at this stage to bake. Right, guys? So easy like that, we are done with my version of green fig pie. Right, I'm going to go back live once it's finished baking and show you guys. I thank you all, those of you that was live on here with me. I thank you for watching and your continued support. It means so much, you will never know. Right, so I'm going to put it down to bake. It don't have to bake for very long. I don't speak on temperature and time in oven, because you will know how your oven behaves. That will depend on if it's gas or electric and the age and model of your oven. Right, so you just monitor things. Don't ever put things to bake or cook and walk away. Also, don't put it on the bottom rack of your oven. Keep it on the top rack. Right, so the bottom won't be discolored. So I'm going to go back live once we are finished with this Trinidad and Tobago my version of green fig pie. Right, guys? All right, bye.